guys! In today's video, I'm going to talk all about Demodex mites or demodicosis. I've gotten tons of requests from you guys to cover this topic, so here it is. Demodex mites are actually a little mite that is part of our natural skin flora, believe it or not. Most people have Demodex mites somewhere on their skin, and I always kind of struggle to make a video talking about Demodex mites because I fear that it will create some unnecessary anxiety in many people who watch these videos when I talk about the fact that we all have tiny mites on our skin. But we do, and for the majority of us, they don't matter. They're not doing anything, they're not bothering us, they're more than fine, and we don't need to worry about them. But for some people, and I'll get into more of that in a bit, Demodex mites can become a problem. So that's why I felt compelled to make this video and go into more detail. But anyways, Demodex mites are tiny little micro mites that you can't see with your eye. And you can see them with a microscope. They're about 0.3 millimeters long. And there are actually two species, Demodex follicularum and Demodex brevis, both of which can be found on human skin. They're found specifically in the hair oil follicle, what's called the pilosebaceous follicle, so within the pore associated with the hair and oil gland. Demodex follicularum actually lives in a part of the hair follicle called the infundibulum, and Demodex brevis lives down deeper in the hair follicle and is a little bit shorter in length. And you know, like I said, the vast majority of us don't need to worry about these little mites, and so, you know, don't worry about them. But for some individuals, they can become problematic. Specifically, anybody who has an impaired immune system, whether that be from medication or an illness. When the immune system becomes suppressed, things that are part of our normal flora, sometimes our immune system just doesn't have the capacity to cope with that anymore and can react with skin rashes. So for people on immunosuppressive medications, sometimes the Demodex mites can contribute to the formation of acne-like rashes on the face. The most common situation, though, in which we believe Demodex plays a major role is in people with rosacea. Rosacea is a common inflammatory skin disease that I have several videos on, but it presents with symptoms of burning, stinging, redness, and flushing on the face. It can often be triggered by exposure to things that you put on your skin, and it's thought that for whatever reason, the immune system of people with rosacea just doesn't quite cope with Demodex to the same degree, perhaps, or for whatever reason the Demodex gets sort of too comfortable and you get more symptoms of your rosacea. Another skin disease in which Demodex play a role is Blepharitis, Blepharitis. This is an inflammatory skin disease affecting the skin of the eyelids related to Demodex in the eyelash follicle. In normal skin of the eyelids, the eyelashes, you will find a Demodex mite in 1 in every 10 eyelashes. But for people with blepharitis, this inflammatory skin rash of the eyelids, you can actually find more Demodex. You'll find them in about 1 in every 6 eyelashes. And they're definitely thought to play a role in this condition. It can present with not only inflammation of the eyelids, but also sensation of dry eyes, conjunctivitis or red eyes. It can really be incredibly uncomfortable, inflammatory. And you know, people with rosacea seem to be more susceptible to blepharitis. There's a subtype of rosacea called ocular rosacea, which kind of, you know, is sort of similar. But, you know, Demodex are thought to play a role in those different conditions affecting the skin of the eyelids. Specific diagnostic testing is not typically pursued for this because, you know, like I said, it's normal to find them in normal skin flora, but sometimes a little skin scraping can be performed of certain skin lesions, and sometimes you know, we can identify the Demodex mite on a microscope slide. But oftentimes no specific testing is done for this. It's just kind of treated empirically with specific treatments to address the Demodex issue. But a common recommendation for blepharitis is to do what's called lid hygiene, where you have sort of a cleansing method for the skin of your eyelids. And it's recommended that you take baby shampoo and dilute it with water in a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 part baby shampoo to 1 part water. so it's diluted in half, and you do gentle compressed scrubs to the eyelid skin, and that can help to exfoliate any of the crusty built up stuff that comes along the eyelid margin. So with blepharitis, you do get some buildup of oils and things like that around the eyelid margin that is thought to kind of obstruct outflow. The Demodex get trapped up under there and, you know, just kind of get a little too comfortable and contribute to this. So the eyelid hygiene practice is really an important part of it. But for rosacea, along those lines, cleansing the skin is actually an important part of a rosacea skincare routine. Using a gentle cleanser once, even twice a day, can help to remove some of the oils from the surface of the skin that might make it more comfortable for Demodex to stay in your skin hair oil follicles. Also, because really heavy moisturizers can precipitate those subtypes of rosacea where you have painful burning, redness, and acne-like bumps, it's recommended that you choose lightweight, oil-free moisturizers. In my recent video on a skincare routine for sensitive skin, I recommended some moisturizers that are ideal for sensitive and rosacea-prone skin, and those would be great choices. I'll list them down below in the description box, as well as some cleansers that you might select as well that are very rosacea-friendly. I have several videos about different prescription treatments for rosacea. Metrogel or metronidazole, azelaic acid, or Finacea, as well as oral antibiotics for rosacea. So check those out. But you know, it's always thought that those help rosacea because they're anti-inflammatory, but they might also help rosacea by getting rid of some of the Demodex mites. We don't fully know that, it's merely postulated, but that may be one way in which they work. Oral antibiotics for rosacea also might work because there is something called an endosymbiont that lives within the Demodex mites. This is a bacterial organism that doesn't affect you, but affects the Demodex mite. It's called B. oleronius, and it's thought maybe perhaps the oral antibiotics that are given for rosacea might actually target that. The medication, though, that was approved for rosacea and is used off-label for some of these other conditions thought to be due to Demodex is cilantro, or topical ivermectin. I have a video on that as well, so if that's something that interests you, check out that video. But that is a more newly approved medication that is definitely helping a lot of people with rosacea and some of these other skin conditions as well. We are seeing improvement with the use of cilantro. You guys asked me about IPL for rosacea a fair amount. IPL, or intense pulse light, can actually be helpful for rosacea if done correctly. So I always advocate going to a board-certified dermatologist for IPL for rosacea in particular, because the settings are, you know, really something that are nuanced. It's something that's nuanced, and it's thought actually. You know, I have a colleague who does a lot of IPL for rosacea, and he seems to think that perhaps it might be working by lowering some of the Demodex mites, but you know, that's not like a standard of care recommendation or super evidence-based. But he does seem to think that it is helping the rosacea by lessening the burden of Demodex mites. That's about everything I have to say about Demodex mites. I hope it was helpful to you and did not impart unnecessary anxiety about Demodex mites. They're harmless for the most part. Don't worry about them, but there are treatments that address Demodex burden and its contribution potentially to these different inflammatory skin diseases. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.